This is Sean O'Malley, and you're watching Full-Time MMA. Don't be a bagel biting, bagel bitch boy, bagel bitch back.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, because you know what time it is. It's full time
MMA.
And the United States Anti-Doping Agency, also known as USADA, is shooting down any payoff rumors in the Jon Jones case that may have been swirling around as we all figure out what the fuck is up with this optimism of Jon Jones headlining Madison Square Garden. We all know Jon Jones is suspended, but one thing we don't all know is whether or not he'll be back in time for Madison Square Garden UFC 230. Now, as of right now, he's on a second failed drug test, and what that means is any suspension that he would normally be given would be doubled because it's his second suspension. So normally if he would be given 1 to 2 years, now he's going to be receiving 2 to 4 years. And that's honestly the most realistic possibility, unless there's some sort of fuckery as far as a bribe or something going on. Like, you know, unless USADA didn't have integrity, which we believe they do, then Jon Jones isn't going to be coming back in time for Madison Square Garden. But in the day and age of entertainment and money fights and, you know, the UFC needing to pay back this loan, we're all expecting anything. And one of those things we expect is the UFC that needs a headliner for Madison Square Garden, which you would think is going to be one of their biggest cards of the year, because not only is the headliner yet to be announced, but the co-main event is going to be the return of Nick Diaz taking on Nate Diaz, taking on Dustin Poirier, which is a fight that a lot of fans are going to want to see. So we're all been speculating what could be a headliner bigger than the return of Nate Diaz. Oh, Jon Jones versus DC3 at heavyweight. Boy, wouldn't that be a fucking fight we would all love to see. Not only would it be for both of their legacies on the line, Jon Jones fell in multiple drug tests. Can you beat Daniel Cormier clean? We would sure love to see it. So we would still love to see the fight. But oh, by the way, it's also at heavyweight. It's a different fight than the fight that we've already saw Jon Jones win twice. So there's a lot of different variables that would go into this fight that would make it a fresh fight. It's at heavyweight. USADA's around. And on top of that, there would be a fucking huge carrot in the name of a Brock Lesnar fight dangling over this damn matchup. I mean, the winner of this fight would not only be coming back and fighting for their legacy, Jon Jones fighting to prove that he can win clean, Daniel Cormier proving that he can beat Jon Jones. Not only would they be fighting for their legacies, but also they would be fighting for a huge payday in this fact in the name of a Brock Lesnar fight. So that would be insane. We would love to see that fight regardless of Jon Jones and USADA's whole ordeal going on. We've just kind of been hoping that that goes away, or hoping that we've kind of been hoping that, you know, they're not on the up and up. We've been hoping for Jon Jones to come back even though he's suspended, but that's not likely, and USADA has shot down any payoff rumors that there might be. So that's interesting. Usually, this is the first time I've ever seen USADA respond to rumors. You know what I'm saying? There's people wondering, hey, how's Brock Lesnar coming back? You know, but it's this Jon Jones thing specifically, it seems like they're responding to. And like I said, if you're wondering where this is coming from, these rumors, well, for one, it's the optimism of Jon Jones headlining UFC 230. The other place this rumor's coming from is the Chael Sonnen podcast, which is where Colby Covington recently joined, who is he's a former roommate of Jon Jones. Now, of course, that was back in college. He doesn't know what he's doing now. But Colby Covington is a guy that runs his mouth a lot, and he's talked about Jon Jones amongst every probably other UFC fighter on the fucking roster, including the guys that aren't. Colby Covington talks shit about everybody. Some of the shit sounds like there's truth to what he says. He says a lot of he says a lot of stuff that comes across funny because it sounds like truth, some of it, and some of it sounds like jokes. You never know when Colby's being serious or he's just trying to piss somebody off. But being a former roommate of Jon Jones, he said a lot of shit about Jon Jones, like he used to do steroids way back then. He used to be a bad guy way back then. And even more recently on the Chael Sonnen podcast, Colby Covington spoke on Jon Jones and his whole USADA situation, and he said they're probably trying to pay off the UFC or USADA and somehow get him back earlier. You never know. UFC side, they want to do business and make money. So if he's available and USADA clears him, then they're going to want to do business and put him back out there and fight and make that company money. They've got a $4 billion installment on that loan to pay back. So they're going to do whatever it takes to make money and pay back that loan. And so now USADA's coming out and they've released their own statement. And it was a small statement, but either way, they said, in relation to some media and social media comments we have observed, USADA wishes to clarify that under no circumstances do we receive payments as part of a resolution to cases. Like, do you have to clarify that? I think we all assume that. I don't think any of us thought there was some fucking, you know, in the contract of USADA, I don't think any of us thought there was some fine print that said, and oh, by the way, you can't take any of these drugs, but if you pay us, we might be able to work something out. None of us expected that. So it's kind of funny that they're coming out and saying, oh yeah, guys, everybody, just so you know, we don't take bribes. You know what I'm saying? That's like me coming out and saying, hey, everybody, I don't murder people. It's like, you just expect me not to do that. Like, hey, everybody, I'm not a racist. Like, oh, we didn't think you were. Like, why are you telling us that? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have a little bit of a guilty conscience? I don't know what it is, but it's funny that USADA observed some rumors and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, everybody, we don't take bribes, just in case you are wondering. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty funny. But if you were wondering, USADA has made it official. They don't take bribes, so we're safe. No, that's pretty funny to me. But either way, I just got off work. I'm having some fun with this video, man. I'm going to record some videos old school style. Hope you guys enjoy them. We're going to be live tomorrow, of course. But with that being said, man, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments about USADA coming out and letting everybody know that they don't take bribes. It is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.